Good morning. So today I'm going to talk about love because, as I said, this is my year of love. This is my campaign of love. And my goal is to talk about how we can love each other better, for me to figure out how I can love people around me better, to maybe even explore the areas where I'm not so good at it. And because I grew up Catholic, I'm going to talk about this from a Christian perspective, but I know that the other religions also talk about love. And ultimately, whether we're talking about Jesus or Buddha or Muhammad, they were all teachers of love. And some of what I'm going to say is likely going to trigger some people and activate some people. And I don't at first I think there was this part of me that was afraid to trigger people. But I think the more I talk and the more I explore, the more I realize that sometimes we need to be agitated, we need to be activated. If we have the maturity to go, okay, I'm activated, I'm triggered right now. What is getting triggered in me? And to pause, and instead of stepping into anger or defensiveness, to go, okay, let me see if there's any truth in this. Let me see what's getting activated in me. And so I would invite you to suspend that anger or that defensiveness, and to step into that curiosity. And I know that some of what I'm going to say can activate some of you. I know that up front. And if it does, I would invite you to explore, like, okay, is this triggering in me because maybe this is revealing my shadow side, areas where maybe I'm not as good as I would want to be. Or, am I being triggered, but this doesn't even apply to me, sometimes I do that, I'm all upset and I'm like, wait, they're not talking about me. So why am I upset? Um, I would just invite you to stay open. But again, I'm going to talk about love, and I'm going to talk about love from the perspective of being a Christian. But you can put whatever word applies to you, however you describe yourself, because I would guess that how I'm going to discuss what it means to be a Christian would also apply to what it means to be a Buddhist, or what it means to be a Muslim, because I think, again, as I said, I think all of these are based on loving each other. And one of the principles of being a Christian is unconditional love, or agape. And agape is the Greek word for love that reflects a selfless, unconditional love. And this is the type of love that Christ taught his followers. A love that's not based on whether or not the other person is worthy, because sometimes as humans, we almost frame love from, is this person worthy of love? Is this person a Christian, or are they a sinner? Or, it seems like a lot of times, people have a lot of judgment. Like, either you come to Christ or you're going to burn in hell. And I would venture a guess that this is falling short of the unconditional love, because it's not about whether or not the person is worthy. It's not about whether or not they're a Christian, or whether or not they're a sinner. It's about the knowing that every individual, every person, as a child of God, has inherent value as a human being, and they are deserving of love, whether or not we as limited humans think so or not. Um, and really, the what we're being asked to do is to step to this unconditional love. And I have been asking myself this a lot lately: is, are humans capable of unconditional love? Because it does seem like we have a lot of qualifiers, a lot of conditions, if you're gonna earn this love. And what I'm offering is that we don't have to earn this love. It's already ours. It's already us. It's, something that no one can take away from us. And what we are called to do is to love each other, without judgment, without an expectation of anything in return. I don't have to believe in Christ to earn this, and I know that that can be hard for some people to hear. But I do believe that that's a truth. Um, and another part of this is that we love each other, um, not as fellow Christians, but we love each other as fellow humans, because I think sometimes we do have these conditions that, oh, I can love my fellow Christians, but, the Muslims are going to hell, or choose your group. And that was not to target the Muslims. Please don't hear that, because what I'm telling you is that we are very limited, and that we need to expand and embrace everyone, because where our common ground is that we're all love, and we're all loved. And and as it says in John, as I has loved you, so you must love one another. You know, and if you really want to call yourself a Christian, then loving everyone is part of what is asked of you. And it's a characteristic of really being a Christian. And a lot of times we can say the words, we can say that we're a Christian, but what are our actions telling people? You know, um, again in John it says, "Love us not with words or speech, but with actions and in truth." So we can say that we're Christians, and we can say that we love each other, but what are our actions showing? Are we judging people who are different than us? Are we judging people because they have different views or different religions, or are we truly loving each other with our actions? Are we truly embracing each other with our actions? Are we truly helping those in need, or are we really more self-concerned and more worried about material things than about spreading our wealth and helping those in need, or forgiving those people who have done things that we feel have wronged us, and offering support when people are having difficult times. Because and again, I don't mean this to be an attack on Christians, um, but I do see a lot of Christians who are standing by in their places of privilege, who are too busy to help people who in need. They see people around them struggling, and they don't offer support for people struggling. And a lot of times I get it. We're struggling to hold our own stuff together. But I would venture that this is not 100% of the time, and that there are times where we're in abundance. And I lived in Sierra Leone for 3 years, and Sierra Leone is one of the poorest countries in the world, if not the poorest country in the world. And what I found amazing was they have nothing, and a lot of cases they're struggling to eat, to just make it from meal to meal. And yet the little that they have, they would share, they would give to the people around them. And then, I do find it frustrating sometimes coming back to the US, and, people being focused on bigger houses, bigger cars, um, and yet people who have nothing would give everything. When we talk about Christ, he would heal the sick, he would feed the hungry, he would forgive the sins of everyone. And it doesn't matter, like, yes, we think, okay, I've reached my, they've sinned too much, I gotta set a boundary. Which, okay, sometimes boundaries need to be set, but love can't stop flowing. They are still deserving of love, no matter what actions they're taking. um and sometimes this does require a lot of us, and I think part of it is that when we're talking about loving our neighbors as we love ourselves, I think this may be part of the issue, is that some of us do struggle to love ourselves. There are parts of us that we don't love, and a lot of people are really struggling with self-love, and And so it's hard to love other people and to extend love and care to other people. When we're not extending love and care to ourselves. And when we talk about forgiveness, and I'll go into some of these deeper and in other videos, but forgiveness is not about forgetting what they've done, or it's about going, I still love you. You are still love. um, and and also understanding that in Matthew, it talks about you forgive other people when they sin against you, because God will forgive you. So it's, we are offering what we are asking for ourselves. And so if we're not forgiving other people for our sins, then we can't expect to be forgiven in our own sins. And I would venture that all of us have been sinners in some way in our lives. And really being a Christian is loving each other and being quick to forgive, and understanding that none of us are perfect, and that we fall short in different ways, and we all need compassion from each other. And I'm probably not very good. I do have a tendency to hold grudges, and this is something that I'm really struggling with. And part of it is that I don't offer myself a lot of grace. I ask a lot of myself, and sometimes I have these unreasonable expectations for myself. And so I think my lack of grace for other people a lot of times really mirrors the lack of grace that I have for myself. Um, and then so it really goes back to this self-love. When we love ourselves and we forgive ourselves, when we show ourselves grace, this is what then we show other people in our lives. Um, and when we talk about love, it's like we loved because he first loved us. And so there's so much in the Bible that is telling us how to love. And that's what Christ was a teacher of love. And every day, we are given love and forgiveness and mercy. And we need to then offer that to the people around us, and share our love and our forgiveness and our support with those people around us. So when we talk about what is a Christian, what does it mean to be a Christian? Um, again, I'm going to say it like I think it's the same thing it means to be a Buddhist or to be a Muslim, and it's ultimately to love each other. And so these are the questions that I want to pose for today. Where in my life could I love people better? Where in my life have I potentially judged or held grudges, or or just maybe even not loved myself? Because when we start to examine how well do I love myself, it'll show us, why we're falling short, and where we can be better Christians. So, drop it down below. I just really want to generate this conversation, because I think the more that we start to talk about love and how we can love better, it really, again, I'm going to keep talking about this love virus, because this is my goal. Like, if I touch you with love, I want everyone you touch to feel that same love. So again, the question for today, um, how can I love better? Where in my life am I maybe withholding my love, or holding grudges, or not supporting people in my life who need support? So that's the topic for now, and until next time.